gas prices are the highest in 4 years. Yeah, this idea that Iran's regime is speaking with one voice is simply not standing up to verifiable facts. Iran is a networked regime of various different power centres, and that spans the Revolutionary Guards and of course the army. That means it's very, very hard to degrade and to destroy. At the end of the day, there is a power shift taking place within Iran that favours the Revolutionary Guards. I would start off by prefixing my answer by saying that understanding what Trump's red lines are, what his strategy is, or what he's thinking is very much above my pay grade. But if I can just offer my thoughts on the US strategy here and what it's trying to do. The US is blockading Iranian ports because it's trying to flip the equation on Iran vis-a-vis the Strait of Hormuz. Now, of course, the Strait of Hormuz, you get 20% of global energy supplies and shipping passing through it, but it's also important for 80% of Iran's own energy exports, most of which goes to China. So the US was caught surprised by Iran blockading and closing the Strait of Hormuz. It therefore is trying to counter it and flip the equation on Iran by piling up the economic pressure on Iran. Now, the thing is here is we know that Iran's economy is very, very resilient, but at the same time, Iran has been suffering economically for some time. We saw protests in December of last year and January of this year where Iran's regime massacred thousands of unarmed civilians because they were protesting against the economy. Iran currently has some of the highest inflation in the world, and Iranian oil is being loaded onto tankers indefinitely to just sit there because it simply doesn't have anywhere to go. But there are, of course, economic pressures on the US too. Gas prices are the highest in 4 years, and many Americans, particularly in a year where there are midterm elections, will be starting to wonder whether all of this was worthwhile. So despite Trump's bombast, there are economic pressures on both sides, and the longer this continues, the more those mount up. Yeah, this idea that Iran's regime is speaking with one voice is simply not standing up to verifiable facts. We saw, for example, Iran's foreign minister in those talks in Pakistan sent home pretty rapidly, and it was clear there that there was a feeling amongst the IRGC that he'd made too many concessions and too many offers to the Americans, and he was indeed attacked in state-run media, which is something quite unprecedented in recent times when you see an Iranian foreign minister attacked in state-run media for making these concessions. We're also hearing of tension between individuals affiliated or close to the Revolutionary Guards like Ahmed Validi, but also Mohammed Khalibaf, that there's a feeling that that they're basically having parallel lines in the negotiations. One is taking a harder stance, the other is not, and therefore there's tension there, and that's, you know, between the chair of the National Security Council and the head of the Revolutionary Guards. Now, this is Iran's strength, but also its weakness. Its strength is that it is not Venezuela. It does not have one leader that you can take out and the whole regime collapses or conforms to whatever it is you want to do. Iran is a networked regime of various different power centres, and that spans the Revolutionary Guards and of course the army. That means it's very, very hard to degrade and to destroy. But the problem here is in negotiations, because it means that the US is often unclear with whom they're talking to and how much power they actually have. So at the end of the day, there is a power shift taking place within Iran that favours the Revolutionary Guards. There are internal debates within Iran that I think is important to take note of, particularly as we go into negotiations. So, and all of this has been affected by the war, of course.